Trump continues to deny making derogatory remarks about immigrants. A former White House aide has told his story about how President Obama dealt with immigrants like his parents. This weekend, Twitter introduced us to a relatively unknown former White House staffer who served under President Obama, operating under the handle "Who is Gary Lee?" The former aide says he was inspired to tweet for the first time because of something President Trump said about a Korean-American intelligence analyst briefing him. And he shared a moving story about his interaction with President Obama on Lee's final day as an assistant staff secretary at the White House. Gary Lee joins me now by Skype. Gary, thank you very much for joining us. Well, first of all, your tweet, it's the first time you'd ever tweeted, and you told your story in a series of tweets. It now has 158,000 likes and 56,000 retweets. You are a social media sensation. I don't know if you're going to stay on Twitter, but this is quite a debut. First of all, tell us what inspired you. I mean, our own reporting, first of all, was we first posted the story about a Korean-American young woman analyst who was an intelligence analyst briefing the president, and President Trump kept asking her, well, where are you from? And she said, Manhattan, like you. I'm a New Yorker. And he said, no, where are your people from? And she finally said, well, they're from Korea. And so he then turned and apparently said, why isn't she briefing me on Korea then? Which, you know, was not at all her area of expertise. So that inspired you. What happened then when you went on Twitter?
It was exactly what you just said, Andrea. It was a reaction to that, and I felt that I wanted to say something about the interaction that I had with President Obama and how special and how different it was, to contrast with what you just said. I think that, I guess the most important thing is that it's really not about me. I think the reason why people sort of connected with it and the reason why it's done so well is that I am just one of tons of stories like that in the administration, that there are daughters and sons of immigrants that would go and see President Obama and that he would greet them in their parents' native language. And I think that's why that people are connecting with it, and that's why I felt inspired to write my own story.
Well, let me share part of this link of tweets. Is you wrote, on my last day, I went into the Oval Office and POTUS greeted me by saying hello in Korean. I'm lucky because Pete Souza, the photographer, of course, who's got his best-selling book of Obama pictures now, captured that exact moment. And your surprise and the pleasure that you, as not a top-level White House staffer, had that the president had practiced Korean to greet you on your last day working at the White House, and why that was so meaningful to you.
The president, I guess the Obama family in general, the entire community is so tight-knit. And for the president that's not out of his character, as Josh sort of displayed, that he inspired an entire generation of young people to go into public service. That includes Josh, that includes me. And we all joined the campaign in 07 and 08 for that exact reason. And so it's not surprising, it's not out of character that he would do that. It caught me off guard, certainly, just because I just thought I was going in for this last photo, and his arms are outstretched, and he goes, "안녕하세요," and that really, I gave sort of my very embarrassing laugh, and peeked out that exact moment. So it was perfect.
And in one of your other tweets, just to share this as well, you said, in what other country is that even possible? In what other country are you allowed to dream and, despite all odds, pursue and achieve your dreams? In what other country could a chubby 90s hip-hop and R&B loving Asian kid from New Mexico end up working for Barack Obama, obviously in the White House? So thank you for your service, and thanks for sharing that